Let's ball. What's up, world? It's Bernard Buie. Today I'm here to teach you guys how to self-publish your first book. So when I first got started in this journey, I knew literally 0 authors. So I started reaching out to different people on social media, and nobody had the answers that I needed from start to finish on how to go from inspiration all the way to book tour. Nobody can help me. So I literally went step by step, brick by brick, in order to get to this part of teaching you guys. So why did I want to write a book? I wanted to write a book because I knew as I continue to get older, I want to build different legacy pieces for my family to pass on down for the generations to come. And I know being an author is one of those things. You know, growing up in Philly, I spent some time in libraries, more so when it was mandatory versus when I had to. But as I got older, I learned that, you know, a lot of history is inside these books. And in order for you to make your history, you gotta put it for somebody to either read it or watch it. So I said the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write my book. And then as I got going and writing my book, I started helping other people decide to write their book and being an inspiration to other people. And hopefully, as you watch this video, you get some really good information, give you guys some great resources and links and how to write your own book and be inspired to teach people on how to do that. So here's the chapters. Chapter 1, what is your book about? When you're discovering what your book is about, it may be about your life, it may be about someone else's life, it may be a children's coloring book, a children's regular book, it may be a cookbook, it may be a fantasy animated character book. There's so many different types of books that you guys can write. But in my first book, I wrote my book about my life. So a lot of the examples that I'm going to give you guys are based off of what I wrote or what I've helped these other authors behind me write. So again, when you're writing your book, you want to gather a lot of information. You want to gather photos that's going to help make your book make sense to a lot of people. You want to grab videos that's going to help make sense to a lot of people of the things that you're talking about. And even when you're gathering these videos and these photos, you want to start to put them in different notes in your phone, right? As you're gathering information and you're thinking about, you know, what inspired you or other people who may have inspired you. Literally, grab your phone and hit talk to text, and everything that you talk about in your phone is going to write it out inside of your phone, which is going to be that much easier to help you get through this process, because there's a lot of steps in order to do this, but I'm here to help you. I'm here to make it simple. So like I said, take your phone and don't be afraid to use your audio recorders. Every day as you're gathering inspiration, hey, you know, today I want to talk about this. Put it in your phone, save it, or scroll all the way through your photos and start gathering pictures that's going to help, you know, go through things, or find inspiration from other people who was in your life at that time of what you're writing about, and get their input of where you were at that time. And it's going to start to formulate your book from start to finish. Something else that I want to give you guys in this is developing a team, right? When you're writing this book, yeah, it may be about you, but there's other people that you need in order to make this happen. For one, maybe a ghostwriter. You know, it may be some things that you want to convey that you may not be able to 100% articulate. So work with a writer, a co-writer, or a ghostwriter that can help you put these things together. Of course, someone to edit your book. For me, once I got done writing my book, I literally went to a college campus, went to Clark, and found me an intern who was into editorial writing, and I had him and her edit what I had already put out. And then I went back and I reread it, made sure that everything that I was talking about was still accurate, just with the right punctuality and pronunciation of different words, or making sure that my sentences were complete, you know, and things like that. Because a lot of times, me specifically, I typically type how I talk. So if you're one like me, you may want to find somebody to help edit your book for you. Something else may be a graphic designer, so therefore your photos can be edited inside of your book properly, or your cover, your front and back cover can be designed. You can see as my book and these other books, some of these books have different authors on and their faces on them. They got different fonts, right? They have different graphics and things like that behind them. So therefore you want to work with a graphic designer. Another person may be your web designer, because of course you may want to sell, well, it's not a may, you're going to want to sell your book, your merchandise, your information, your content on your own platform, as well as other platforms that will allow you to sell them on there for free, because those platforms are considered free advertising platforms that you can advertise your book and drive traffic to your own platform. Another person may be a printing company, right? A lot of times, yeah, you have Amazon or you have other different big platforms like that, to where, you know, they'll distribute your book for you when it gets sold, but you may want hard copies for your for the people who are local to you, or if you go on a book tour, you go somewhere like that, you may want to have hard copies. So you want to find a local printing company in your area, or just on the web, who will ship your books and help you format them, or give you a hard copy versus a soft copy, right? You know, you want to figure those things out. You want to find a public relations manager or someone who does PR that's going to get the awareness out about your book to different bloggers or different bookstores or different people in the community that your book may help influence or may inspire people who they're in contact with in order to get your book out there. So public relations, that's another big one. Someone who does admin for you, right? Once your books start popping, you're going to get a lot of direct messages about, hey, can we book you to come to our school and speak, or come to our business and speak about your book, or hey, can you do an interview about what your book is, right? These are small people, but big people who can help you and your team grow at that time. And my favorite one is popular friends, right? Because you're getting ready to start driving sales to your book or your brand and your business. You want some of your friends who got, you know, a good amount of followers, or who have influence in different cultures, to talk about your book or promote you. So therefore, you know, that's some type of person that you want to have involved in your everyday life. Chapter 2 is building out your book. These are different things that are going to help you complete your book step by step. So earlier I gave y'all some of the tools that I use. Of course, like I said, use your phone. Download an app to where you can talk in your phone and it'll convert it into text. That's one. You want to grab all the photos and videos from your past, or things that you want to put inside of your book to help promote your case or whatever you're talking about with inside your book. Different quotes, different stories, different facts. You know, these are small things you want to do. The free thing that I would recommend is using Google Docs. So as you're talking and you're texting these things out, it's automatically going into a page. So if you're going in chronological order, hypothetically, about your life, they'll start to automatically lay itself out. And then you can go back in and you can put the pictures inside of it. You can put different videos inside of it. You can put different links, quotes, stories, quizzes, all these small things you can put inside of your book, and they'll start to lay out. So by the time you go to an editor, a professional editor, their work won't be so much cut out for them, and then it'll make their life that much easier when it comes to helping you complete your book. Chapter 3, the business behind your book. My favorite chapter, because there's a quote that I live by, which is, the business to all businesses is greater than the business itself. The business to all businesses is greater than the business itself. Now, what does that mean for me? It means that if you take care of the back end of your business, the front end can always thrive. If you don't take care of the back end, your business will never thrive. One, because say for instance, you're not making sales this month. You're relying on the front end of the business to take care of the back end. But if you take care of the back end and you structured your business properly, you should have a business credit card. You should have you could have a business line of credit. You could take out a business loan, take out a personal loan, take out a personal line of credit, right? These are small things that you can use to propel your business. And don't get me wrong, right? There's nothing wrong with bootstrapping your business from start to finish. A lot of people are successful at it, but we all know the fact a lot of people are not successful at that because there's so many things that they got to take care of on the back end in order to keep the front end of the business, right? So hustling, selling books out the trunk is cool, but imagine if you didn't have to sell one book to go get 5 books. If you could automatically start with 5 books and slow grind it and make payments on that loan in order to take your business to where you want to get to. So with that being said, I'm gonna give y'all a couple of things that you're gonna need to set up in order to run the back end of your business. The first thing is research the name of your book. So for me, when I researched, I told my story and made history, The Life of Design and Humanitarian, Bernard Buie. I made sure that my title was 100% clean across the board. So I looked up how to incorporate my business. I looked up social media handles for the business. I looked up the website, made sure I could buy it. I looked at the copyrights and the trademarking of different things that were in my book, including my titles. Before I even decided to purchase any of those things, I made sure that it was clear across the board. So as you're deciding what you want your title to be, you want to make sure that all of those things that I just named plus more are all in place. Now, say for instance, you got all of that. Now, first thing you do is get your LLC or your corporation for your business. Then get your EIN for your business. That's through the IRS website. Go get your business bank account for the business. So now you can start building your business credit. So therefore you can, by the time you get to the point of wanting to purchase your books, you can now purchase them using your business, not your personal funds, right? Your copyrights and your trademarks, as I mentioned earlier. You may want to go get your DUNS number and set up a NAV account for your business, right? So therefore you can start building a business credit profile for the business, which is your books. And then once you just start going aside to do other things within inside of it, like t-shirts or merchandise for the books, you may want to go get your banners and you may want to go get flyers to promote your book. There's different businesses like Staples and FedEx to where you can now build business trade lines within the business, so therefore you can start paying for those things that you need 30 days. You can receive those things and then pay for them 30 days out instead of using your money right out of your pocket and got to pay for it right then and there. Of course, the other things that you want to build out is your website. Make sure that your domain name is 100% yours. Make sure that your email is based off of your business name. So for me, my business name was Team Buie Publishing. I made sure I went and purchased Team Buie Publishing. And I'm not using Gmail, which is nothing wrong with Gmail, but if you're going to use Gmail, pay for the original name of your domain name, which is your email. So info@yourbusinessname.com, not your business name at gmail.com. No, info at your company name, or contact us at your company name, or your name at your business name.com, right? These are small essential things that is going to determine what type of, how people take you serious within the business. Of course, you want to go get a real number. You can, and of course you can use your cell phone number, but nowadays one phone typically can come with 2 numbers. So you want to take advantage of those types of things. And an address for your business. You may want to get a P.O. box or a company address, a virtual office, therefore your mail can be sent to, or your checks can be sent to, especially your royalty checks. So sometimes they may not come direct deposit. It may come in a physical copy. So you want that to go to your P.O. box, or you may want people to give you feedback about your books and they're going to give you handwritten notes. You want that to go somewhere specifically that's not your home address. Chapter 4, editing and formatting your book. When you're deciding to come up, with your book, different fonts is going to determine how people read. Different language barriers is going to determine how people read. Your spine of the book, you want to make sure that your title is on there, because a lot of people put their books in their bookshelf, and then they want to be able to see that. So if they don't have that, then you're going to force somebody to always look at the front or the back of your book. So you want to make sure that that's there. Of course, you want to make sure that you got a backstory about your book on the back of the book, because that's the quickest thing that people are going to read outside of seeing the front of the copy of it. Some books may go horizontal versus vertical, right? And then some books may be different sizes, right? So these are the things you want to think about. Of course, I would recommend going to a library or going to Barnes & Noble or another bookstore and looking at different sizes and looking at different weights of a book. Some books are hard copy versus soft copy. You want to think about all of these things when you're editing and getting ready for your book. Of course, you may want to do a photo shoot for your book. You can see my book, it has me on the cover, and majority of the other authors who I've helped self-publish, it's them on side of the book, because when you're first starting off, sometimes you are your biggest advertising tool. If people want to know about you, then 9 times out of 10 they're going to want to see you, or they're going to want to reference you when it comes to their books and things like that. So, but don't be afraid. You don't have to put your face on your book. Your book may be about somebody else's life, or it may be fictitious characters that you made up, and it may be animation and things like that, or it just may be just a title of the book with just some cool graphics on it. There's nothing wrong with that as well. So, you want to think about those things as you're designing your cover and your back cover for you. Using color photos or actually having color inside your book, that will determine if your price goes up or your price goes down, right? That may determine if your price goes from $4.50 to $7.50, especially if your book is a hard copy versus a soft copy. Those are some quick things inside this chapter for that. Stay tuned for the next chapter for your book. The next thing is digital copies versus physical copies and ordering these types of books. So remember when I told you, if you take care of the back end of your business, you won't have to pay for these books, these hard copies, out of your pocket directly. So if you're planning on doing a book tour, or you're planning on doing a private book signing, or you're planning on giving some books away, selling some books out the trunk, whatever it is, you want to have a good inventory of books, so therefore you'll be able to do these things. Or you're going to have to give some books out to different bloggers and let them give you reviews about the book, so you may want to send them a hard copy. But at the same time, a lot of people nowadays, especially the youth, they're not reading hard copy books. You want to have an ebook version of the book as well, so therefore someone can automatically pick up their phone and read your book from start to finish, right? As quick as they read the hard copy, they may be able to even read your book quicker as a digital copy. Another thing that's really important right now in today's society is an audio book. So therefore, I don't have to have my phone in my hand. I don't have to have a hard copy of the book, but I can listen to your book from start to finish, especially if it's an easy read, or it's a self-help, or you're giving vivid memories and somebody can imagine what you're talking about. They can listen to your book. So those are 3 different types of things. You're going to have your audio book, you're going to have your hard copy book, and you're going to have your ebook type of book. So those are 3 different types of things that you want to have when it comes to that. Chapter 6 is your book tour, book launch, right? So the first thing you want to think about is creating the buzz. You're going to want to do a press release for your book, right? That's when you want to talk about the different things that you're going to talk about inside the book, tell people why they want to read it, where they can find it. You may want to set up different interviews on different podcasts, or different talk shows, or different news channels about your book. You may want to go on different blogs and post your book. Of course, you want to use social media to go on as many different handles as you can and automatically get that out, because that's free. You may want to set up different affiliate links, so therefore people can promote your book and they can advertise it. And when somebody purchases it from their link, they make money off your book of course, pre-orders on all these different platforms. Before you go out and buy 1,000 hard copies of your book, you may want to do some pre-orders to give, so therefore people can start to put money in your pocket. And if you can take their $20 and your book costs you $5 now, you can go and buy 4 more books to sell to everybody else and keep flipping your money that way. Of course, creating free press runs. If you know that you're getting ready to go out of town or go to another country, start to reach out to different people who, different principals or teachers, and say, hey, I want to bring my book up to your school and talk to some students about inspiring them to become an author or inspiring them to become whatever your book is about, right? You can go to different businesses and motivate their employees or their staff about whatever your book is about, or becoming an author as well. Now, once you've done all of those things, or you're in the process of doing those things, set your book launch up. You can do it at a library. You can do it at an event space. You can do it at your apartment building. You can do it at your home. You can do it in the middle of the street if you want to, right? So think about, what does your book launch and your book release look like? And once you do that, now you can set up a book tour in other cities that you may have different connections in. As an example, for me, I'm born and raised in Philadelphia, but I've lived in Atlanta, a long part of my life. So when I did my book tour, I went back to Philadelphia and did one, and then I went to other states. I went to Vegas and did a book signing. I went to Miami and did a book signing. I went to LA and did a book signing. I went to Chicago and did a book signing. And then I came back to Atlanta, where I have the most people from, and then I did one here as well. So before I knew it, I did a 5-city book tour of just places that I've been to, and I automatically know people from over the years of just being around and being who I am, right? So don't think about a book tour being such an elaborate and so much of a costly thing. It could just be you just sitting at your apartment complex or your Airbnb when you go to another city and just promoting, hey, and say, I'm Bernard Buie. I've just launched my book. I'm going to be in Miami from this date to this date. If you guys are interested in purchasing my book, feel free to come on down. I'm hand signing, autographing books. See you soon, right? That's like a quick blurb of how you get people to come out and promote with you, or be a part of your book tour, or just be there because they friends and family, or they just want to see you be successful, right? So those are small things that you can do inside of that, as well as having merchandise. So you got your book, but make sure that you got some things that are branding yourself. It may be your colors, maybe a hat, it may be a pen, maybe t-shirts, it may be a book bag, it may be a mouse pad, for your computer. All of these small things you can either give away or sell as merchandise when they purchase your book as well. So these are upsells and downsells to getting people to be popular within your branding of your content for your book. Next thing inside of that is having your branding together. So of course you want to have, a standing banner that may have your picture on it or may have your title of the book. Of course you want to have a book cloth because you're sitting there at the table. You want people to know what your brand is as they're taking pictures with you. You want to have your banner laid out on your table. Of course, you may want to have some different size books, so therefore when people taking pictures with you, right, you want to have all of those small things in place. You may have a tent with your name on it, so therefore when people come in and you signing your books, all these things are different branding tactics that you can use and that you're going to want to pay for up front or as your brand get bigger, so therefore people know that you're really serious about your brand and awareness of your business. Chapter 8, turning your book into a production. Now that you've written this book, what are you going to do with it next? Are you just going to leave it as a book? Do you want to turn it into a movie? Do you want to turn it into a podcast? Do you want to turn it into a series? Do you want to turn it into a play? Right? All of these are small things that you can do now and turn them into big things because people are doing independent distribution. There's a lot of online platforms that will allow you to upload your own content on it and make money from it and then do revenue sharing with them when it's out there, right? So don't be afraid to take this book and turn it into the next thing that you want to do. And those are just some of the things. Chapter 9, helping others publish their first book. Okay. I finished mine. That's all mine. I did it. I made my own history. Nobody else taught me this, so I'm not going to give that information out. Don't be like that, right? Inspire other people by, motivating them and showing them that you did it, but helping them and saying that, look, I did it, now you can do it. You can do it, 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 you can do it. You see where I'm going? And then helping them actually in that process. Now, I'm not saying you got to give them all the game, which that's why I'm here. I'm giving y'all all the game, but you don't have to. You can give them, different pieces and say, look, go from here and then just take you to the next level. And then once you get to that level, keep going. Or you can just give them the formatting, but most importantly is passing on the information to the next person. So I'm Bernard Buie. I hope this was some good information for you guys. I have an ebook. I have a 30-day course for you on how to self-publish your book. So if you're interested in writing your own book, changing your own legacy, making your own history, this is the perfect opportunity for you. I'm Bernard Buie. How to publish your book within 30 days.